Welcome back, students. In this module, I am going to take up the next poem, Animals. This poem is written by Walt Whitman. Walt Whitman was an American poet, essayist and journalist. He was born on 31st May 1819 in New York. He died on 26 March 1892. His great works are Leaves of Grass, O Captain, My Captain, and Song of Myself are some of his great works. So the present poem, Animals, written in free verse, is one of the poems published in Leaves of Grass. So, the students, one of the important factor, the point that you need to pay attention here, this poem is written in free verse, meaning I have given the meaning here, unrhymed verse without a consistent metrical pattern. So, usually most of the poems have metrical pattern and also written in rhymed pattern or rhymed verse, but this poem is written in free verse which doesn't have rhyme scheme or any consistent metrical pattern. So, it is called as free verse. Come on, shall move on to the next slide. So, dear students, before we take up the poem, we shall try to understand what is the central idea of the poem, Animal. So, it is very important to know before we appreciate or before I describe the poem for you. The poet Walt Whitman tells frankly that he feels more comfortable and at home with animals rather than his fellow human beings. So, dear students, don't you think it is a strange thing that Walt Whitman finds more or feels more comfortable and at home with the animals than his fellow human beings? He has lost so much faith in the race of man. You can find he gives reason why he likes the company or he finds or feels more comfortable or at home with the animals. He says he has lost so much faith in the race of man that he wants to turn and change his position with animals. This is the reason. So, yeah, human beings have become mad. How? By running after material possessions. Their bundle of complications, contradictions, and confusions. Their conscience is not clear. And so, they suffer from what? Nightmares and weep for their sins. Animals, on the other hand, are calm, self-contained, and contented. They don't run after material things. So, have you seen any animal running after material things? They don't crave for things. They are self-contented or self-contained. So, they don't run after the material things except or other than food. They don't need to worship God as they never suffer from any sense of guilt or sin. So, yeah, since animals, they don't run after material things or they don't have sense of sin, so they don't worship God. This is how the poet Walt Whitman defends. Ancestors of human beings shared those tokens of love and understanding in the remote past. Unfortunately, dear students, humans have lost those virtues and tokens of love and understanding completely forever. So our ancestors used to follow, used to share those tokens of love. But now, unfortunately, humans have lost those virtues and tokens of love. What a sad thing. This is what the poet, the poet Walt Whitman observes. Such a great observation. Hope you have understood this slide. Come on, let's move on to the next slide. Shall also need to understand what is the style of the poem. Here, like the best poetry of Walt Whitman, the poem Animals is also written in irregular verse or the blank verse. So this poem reflects Whitman's animism. What I mean by animism? Means the doctrine that all natural objects and the universe itself have. So this was the meaning of, and he believed in this doctrine. The poem reflects Whitman's animism. Next, it is the spirit of animals that is meant to reflect the truth in humanity. So, the students, he respects animals because they have tainted those values. So, he believes more in animals than human beings. He feels more comfortable and at home with animals rather than his fellow human beings. Have you understood, students? Shall we move on to the next slide? So before we take up the first stanza or the description part of this poem, let me recite the whole poem for you. Please pay attention and follow my recitation. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid and self-contained. I stand and look at them long and long. They do not sweat and whine about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick discussing their duty to God. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented with the mania of owning things. Not one kneels to another, not to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens of myself. They evince them vainly in their possession. I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way huge times ago and negligently drop them? So now we shall take up the first stanza. I think I could turn and live with animals. They are so placid, calm, and self-contained, means self-satisfied. I stand and look at them long and long. So the students, the poet wants to live with animals because of their peaceful nature, because of the placid, self-contained nature. The two qualities of the animals mentioned in the passage are, what are they? Peaceful and satisfied. So animals are peaceful and satisfied. Dear students, can you find word that means serene? That is placid. So the poet wants to live with animals because of their serene nature, because of their calm nature. And what attracts the poet to the animals is that they are placid and self-contained. So here the word turn in the first line implies what? To take a new direction in life. So why do you think the poet wants to look at the animals for a long time? Why? Can you guess? Because he wants to observe their behavior and nature. So he wants to observe their behavior and nature. So the poet wishes that he would switch over his loyalty and faith from human beings to animals. He wants to live with them as he feels more comfortable in their company. So the poet wants to change places. He wants to be converted to an animal from a human being. So animals are, why? Why does he want to be converted? Because animals are so calm and self-satisfied. So he is so much impressed with animals that he stands and goes on looking at them for a long time. So he wants to be converted into an animal form from human beings. So the poet thinks of turning into an animal. Come on, we shall move on to the next. Let me recite it for you. They do not sweat and whine, meaning complain irritatingly about their condition. They do not lie awake in the dark and weep for their sins. They do not make me sick, discussing their duty to God. So they do not sweat and whine. So who are they referred to here? Who? Animals. How do they feel for their sins? They do not lie awake in the dark and weep. So they don't feel for their sins. See, animals and human beings are compared in this stanza. So the phrase, you can understand, sweat and wine means what? Can you tell me? Sweat and wine means to be complaining about one's circumstances. So they prefer not to cry about their duty to God. And we can also say that the poet is speaking in their favor. Why? Because poet is speaking in favor of animals. Why? Because the animals never complain about their problems and they never hold grudges. This is very important. We human beings hold grudges, but animals, they never hold grudges. Like human beings, the poet thus prefers animals to humans. The great message, the great observation we can find here, students. So here it tells that in the first stanza we understood the poet wants to turn away from humans. So he gives reason in this stanza why he wants to turn away from humans. He says that the poet is sick of people who keep discussing their duty towards God. So he does not like people who talk of their duties towards God but do nothing for God's men. They just speak but they do nothing. So animals, so a poet, why don't the animals lie awake at night? Yeah, because animals don't commit any sins. This is what Whitman says. They don't commit any sins and are not involved in wrongdoing. This is very important. They are not involved in many things. We human beings are involved in many wrongdoing. Hence, they don't lose sleep over any of their actions and so do not lie awake at night. So, our conscience pricks because we do wrongdoings, we do wrong things, we commit sins. But animals, they are not aware of all these wrongdoing. So they don't keep awake at night. Have you understood, students? So animals never sweat unnecessarily, nor do they cry over their miserable condition. See the first line, the poet said they do not sweat and whine, means they never sweat unnecessarily. Their conscience is clear. They don't weep over their sins, keeping awake the whole night. So they don't make anyone sick by discussing their duty to God. So to move on. Not one is dissatisfied, not one is demented, means mentally sick with the mania, madness, or obsession of owning things. Not one kneels to another, not to his kind that lived thousands of years ago. Not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So, the students here, demented. Demented with the mania of owning things means becoming mad. Mad of what? Mad for hoarding things, means saving up things for future use. Any human beings are busy amassing wealth, collecting wealth, saving up for tomorrow, saving up for future use. Do you think animals do it? So, poet says, what do animals do? Do not do at night. They neither lie awake nor weep for their due sin. So, the students, they do not kneel before others of their kind. That's what we learn from this stanza. So, no animal has the mania of collecting things. Animals don't get mad in the race of owning things like humans. So they don't kneel down to show respect to others or to those who were born thousands of years ago. So this is what the poet says here. Say, there is no animal which suffers from the madness of possessing things. On the other hand, humans are never satisfied. It's a very important point, observation made by Walt Whitman. Says, on the other hand, humans are never satisfied. They are competing with one another. In what? In the mad race. I should win. I should be wealthiest man on this earth. So, in this mad race for material possessions, human beings are competing with one another. This is what poet Walt Whitman observes this. He says, not one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth. So, nor can you find any animal on this whole earth who is unhappy over his Lord. So, yeah, what is the mania that humans are demented with? So, Yeah, animals don't suffer from the mania of collecting things like human beings saving up things for tomorrow. This is what animals don't suffer from this kind of mania. Next. So they show their relations to me and I accept them. They bring me tokens, which symbol of myself. They evince, show them plainly in a simple manner in their possession. So yeah, so for students, they bring me tokens, so they show their relations to me. The poet thinks that the animals brought tokens of recognition of true self. The animals evidently show that the tokens were in their possessions. So, what do you mean by tokens of myself? Implies the traits of love. This is very important. The tokens of myself implies the traits of love, respect, happiness, then what? Contentment and sympathy. This is what the word, the statement, the tokens of myself implies. So, further, the poet says animals keep on showing and cementing their relations to the poet. So, the poet accepts those relations with them happily. They show that they possess all these virtues in plenty. Isn't it? So, no one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth for them. So, no animal shows respect by kneeling down. By kneeling down to another animals, nor do they show any respect to the ancestors of their race. These are the pretensions, means kind of undeserved claims, pretensions of human beings and not that of animals. No one is respectable or unhappy over the whole earth for them. This is the description of this stanza. Hope you understood. Shall we move on to the next slide? I wonder where they get those tokens. Did I pass that way used times ago and negligently drop them? So, the last stanza, the poet says, from where did the animals get those tokens? From where? Perhaps human beings dropped them accidentally and animals picked them up. So beautifully describes. She says, huge time means huge times. Here means long, long time ago. So the token is the innate goodness in their nature. So here in this stanza, animals teach us our real nature. So they are teaching us to introspect, to go back to our real nature. Animals have started learning from our ancestors. According to the speaker, the poet, the animals have retained the tokens or memorials of affection. They have retained, but we have forgotten. Unfortunately, we have forgotten it. Man has lost his basic goodness because of what? Human falseness to their own true nature. So they are never satisfied with their possessions. So man has lost virtues because they are complicated and false. So here, dear students, animals are straightforward. Poet accepts animals. Why? Because animals are straightforward. They show their relations to the poet. He accepts them as they are. They have retained all those virtues which the ancestors of the human race shared with them in the past. Unfortunately, Humans had lost those virtues much earlier. The poet wonders how animals still retain them. So he wonders how is it possible that animals still retain them? So, yeah, how did humans leave that path? We need to introspect. How did humans leave this golden path? They lost the path leading to those noble virtues long ago. How? Negligently, human beings, we have lost our senses. We thought these values have no sense, but today animals have picked up these virtues, values, and today we need to learn from animals. So, Walt Whitman, he wants to take form of animals because he finds noble values among animals because they never suffer from their wrongdoings. Hope you have understood this. So, dear students, before I wind up, I have given the summary of this poem so that you can understand the whole poem. In the poem Animals, the poet has described his will to become an animal because he thinks animals are far better than human beings. Human beings are greedy and full of jealousy against each other, but animals are calm and self contained. The animals are happy with what they have. They never complain about miseries and sorrows. Further, we find, on the other hand, human beings complain about their miseries. They give more importance to the rich and strong people, stay restless because of their wrongdoings, and run behind the luxurious things of this world, whereas animals are honest about their relations and don't give importance to a particular class. They live a life which is full of honesty and less of greed and jealousy. This is the summary of this poem. Hope you have understood this poem, Animals. If you have any doubt, please don't hesitate to clarify with me in our discussion class. Thank you, students. Thank you for watching. Stay safe and healthy at home.